Hello, and welcome back. Today we're going to talk about gin and tonic pairing. I think for most of us gin lovers around the world, gin and tonic is probably the go-to, most accessible, a drink you can have at the bar that's pretty approachable, refreshing, easy, and of course you can do it at home.
Yes.
So what we're going to tell you as professionals, self-proclaimed professionals here, how we recommend you pair your gin and tonics.
Yes.
So we're going to focus on 4 different styles, and then we'll talk a little bit about garnish, a little bit how to actually pair, the thought process between pairing the actual gins. So I'm going to start with talking about, the most classic style of tonic, most commonly known as an Indian tonic. So basically, just super briefly, because quinine and cinchona is kind of important to tonic, this drink was originally created because you fight malaria by drinking or consuming quinine, which would usually come in powder form. It was originally discovered, or eventually discovered, that if you add a little soda, add a little sugar, it was a way easier way to consume that, and add a little gin, and now you got a little bit of a party. It's it's a cure-all, as they say. So that is basically just like traditionally those 3 components: the quinine, the soda, the sugar. Add the gin, and that would be your classic Indian tonic. Of course, today people do throw in a few more flavors, essence, oils, but that's all I'd say for that. What have you to say about a citrus-flavored tonic?
How would I describe a citrus tonic? Well, of course, the citrus flavors are going to come through predominantly. But the difference between a citrus tonic and the Indian tonic is that it highlights the high notes of the flavors of lemons, for example, limes, or even yuzu, which is a very common botanical use in all gins.
Yes.
So you're going to taste that a lot in your gin and tonic.
For sure.
Yeah, Jesse, what have you got to say about an herbaceous style tonic?
Well, so the tonic we have here for an example of that actually incorporates a little bit citrus with herbs. So this is a grapefruit and rosemary tonic. Rosemary is a really great pairing with gins all across the board as an herb. Of course, mint can be a great pairing. There are mint tonics out there. Thyme, any of these things that you can usually kind of grab at your local grocery store or market can really enhance the flavor profile of gins. For the tonics themselves, I find them to work all across the board, but especially with spiced and kind of floral style gins.
Yeah.
And after herbaceous and kind of connected to it, I'd say is floral tonics.
Yeah, floral tonics are very common. And when you add a bit of floral tonics to your gin tonics, you're gonna highlight some of the perfumey elements of the gin. Sometimes it gives it a little bit of a tea-like quality, making it very refreshing and easy to drink. And the next tonic we're gonna talk about, Jesse, something less common, will be the savory tonic.
Yeah, definitely. Savory is obviously a flavor that a lot of people enjoy. It's kind of like the difference of getting a martini with an olive or a twist, right? Like the olive gives you that just little hint of salinity. For an example here, we have a cucumber tonic. Sometimes a polarizing ingredient, kind of a love or hate. I've also seen tonics that like a olive brine tonic. There's all kinds of different, like an ume, like a kind of like sour plum kind of tonic. So there's all kinds of different options out there, and of course in this world we live in, the options are endless when it comes to gin flavor profiles as well as tonic flavor profiles. So before you talk about garnishes, I'm just going to really briefly touch on actually pairing.
Yes.
So in my opinion, you can either pair by likeness or pair by contrast.
Yes.
Similarly how you would do with food, right? So some things like a citrusy gin and a citrusy tonic, boom, I want to really highlight those citrusy flavors in both, gonna work. You can also, take 2 flavors that work together, but they contrast a little bit, like something very floral and like something very citrusy. Like something very savory and something herbaceous. You know what I mean? They can kind of come together to make a really nice flavor profile. So that's generally how we would approach it. If you look on a bottle of gin or even look it up online, you can usually find what kind of botanicals are in that gin.
Yes.
And then when you get to the point where you can really taste and understand, then you can start pairing on a little bit of a higher level.
Yeah.
And what do you have to say about garnishes, how they work, especially kind of just like really all you need is the basics,
Yeah,
right?
correct. Yeah. So garnishes, my thought process when I add garnishes is I want to add a garnish that I want to highlight in my gin and tonic. So for example, if I want to go for a very citrus forward kind of gin tonic, I will add the citruses that you can find over here, like a lemon or a lime or even a grapefruit. Or sometimes I go for a more herbaceous route. I will go for kind of the things you can find in the market, like a mint, rosemary and thyme. So you can go a bit crazy with the garnishes because basically it will enhance some of the citrus flavors, or it will add some aromatics to your gin and tonic. So it really depends on what you want in your gin and tonic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say, and it also makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And like Yana was saying, really easy to find common citrus, common herbs. If you even try, pour your gin and tonic, take a sip, and then add whatever garnish you're thinking, take another sip, and you'll see just how it
makes
a
lot of
huge
difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the gist on how you can make the perfect gin and tonic pairing. And we hope to see you try it at home and let us know your thoughts.
Yes.
Yeah, and please like and subscribe, and
we'll see you next time on Gin and Talk. Bye.
bye. And they sometimes use, I have no idea what I'm talking about.